Michael Martin, over marketing specialist. You came a long ways to come down here just to, I mean, we can pretend you came for other stuff, but really you came to go live right here, didn't you?
Absolutely.
And sure. Where are you from?
We're from Kitchener, which is about an hour west of Toronto.
Of Toronto. Now, if you can't hear it, he's Canadian, eh? And it's starting to come out in me. I love it. There's nothing. Who doesn't love a good Canadian? You know what I mean? So, awesome. We're excited to have Michael here. Now, guys, huge thanks to everybody, and huge thanks to Bowtech for allowing us to take over their platform and go live. Good chance you're watching this from the Bowtech Archery page, as well as the Diamond Archery page, Black Gold Sights, Ripcord Rest, Tight Spot Quivers, Bass Pro Shops. Huge thanks to Mr. Heaters. Obviously, coming live from your page, Excalibur, as well as the Nate Zelinsky page, as well as the BowtechArchery.com page, the website. So, again, you can be watching from a million different platforms. Make sure that you guys, send us your comments, send us your questions. We'd love to answer them tonight. Again, we have literally a specialist in the crossbow world with us. So send your questions. If you've ever worried or wondered about crossbows, tonight's the night. But more than anything, just wanted to intro the show and say thanks to everybody that's watching. And huge thanks to all of our partners for going live from their page. Now, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But again, we got Michael here who, I mean, everything that I've asked you about crossbows, you've known. So to me, he's a crossbow expert. And we're just going to continue that through the night. Because again, I've never had a question that you didn't answer. So you're in town for some cool new stuff. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. I was fortunate enough to, I've actually been in studio talking since like 8 a.m. So if my voice goes out halfway through this, it is what it is.
We put him to work.
We went to work today. We've got to play with some cool stuff. But guys, we've been talking, vertical bows. We've been talking guns and everything else to do with hunting. Again, obviously, the concept behind the show is education. So our goal is to educate everybody, and hopefully they become more successful in the outdoor world. Whether you're a target archery shooter, a hunter, some mix in between. Again, this is kind of a platform to answer your questions and hopefully educate you and make you a little bit more proficient as a sportsman. But again, bring your questions. Tonight, we would love to answer a lot of questions for you. So you have questions, make sure you bring them in here and tag your friends that have that. Before we actually get started talking about crossbows, I have got a deer tag. You've been talking about hunting. I showed you some pictures of some big deer. This is my last remaining big game tag for the season. There's basically 3 splits on this mule deer tag, Michael, just to fill you in. So I have a tag, Eastern Colorado. We have an early season where we see some big bucks. And then we kind of have a middle season, which times it perfectly in the rut. And then we have this later season. I saw some great deer during the rut, but to be honest with you, we have so many does that I have, I'm hunting limited amount of property, per se. There's a lot of private out there, so I don't have that much property to hunt. And when they're rutting up, I'm so worried that the buck of a lifetime is a mile away and I don't see him. So I personally hold out, even though I make some very poor decisions, and I should probably shoot some of these deer that I passed up during the rut. I love this October tag or this December tag because they're post-rut and they are moving around. So a deer you see today, you might not see for another month, but regardless, every day I go out, I'm seeing new deer. So
you don't want to miss out.
You don't want to miss out on the opportunities there. So my tag starts Friday. We have some snow coming next week that I'm really holding out for. So basically, tag starts Friday. I'll probably spend some time out there. Make sure you watch for all of our live feeds. We're going to be doing another live hunt from the Bowtech Facebook page, just like we did that South Dakota hunt. So I promise you, this deer will not fall unless it is live on camera. So, I mean, no pressure there. You just got to find a big deer. Got to find cell service.
Yeah.
And you got to not screw up while on live camera. So, no pressure at all.
Doesn't sound tough.
It's just not tough at all. Make sure you get text "Go Live" to 77453 to make sure you get a notification when we go live on this hunt. But we're gonna go out Friday. If we find something great, we'll definitely do the hunt Friday. More than likely, we'll probably wait till the snowstorm hits. That snowstorm really puts these animals active, and I think more than likely that's probably when we'll actually be doing this hunt. But regardless, I have a tag starting Friday. Make sure you watch for the live notification. Again, text "Go Live" to 77453 as we'll be going live from another mule deer hunt. And hopefully, we are on a flat-out monster. So, enough about that. Guys, we're going to talk about crossbows and the opportunities. Now, Michael, I got a crossbow when I was a kid for Christmas. And, I'm shooting little bolts that are this long. And it was almost like a toy. I watched Robin Hood and they had crossbows. And they've been around forever. They're a flawless machine. I mean, they're pushing the limits for speed, for power.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally, it's an amazing tool. But with that being said, in literally, maybe the last 5 years or what? I mean, you know the market better than me. It seems like they've exploded. You used to know of 1 or 2 manufacturers, and now it's huge.
Yeah, it's a combination. You have a couple of big manufacturers, and then you have a whole bunch of I'm not gonna say cheaper, but lesser
yeah.
expensive models coming across that they're built to hit a price point for people to get into it. But most people also upgrade quickly from those, realizing that there's better, there's more reliable, there's tougher, and all those types of things. But it has helped. It's helped grow the market huge because people can get into it, and it doesn't cost a whole lot.
Yep.
So with new states opening up, like this year, Illinois opened up for crossbows and archery season. And other states, each year, our market keeps getting bigger, and the use keeps getting bigger, and people just start understanding that they're a new platform to use for hunting. It's something they can do, and maybe not have to spend as much time with as a vertical bow. They can go out when they're not busy and go and hunt where they couldn't before. So it gets them into it.
Definitely, and you see that, and there's so many different concepts of why you're switching over. And we see that to where the vertical bow shooter is having shoulder injuries or just physically can't do it. I mean, any archer out there, if you shoot enough, it becomes physically demanding, and that can get tough as to where the crossbows can be very easy to shoot. I think the concept of being an ethical hunter, everybody avoids these concepts. We talk about it all the time on here, and people get mad. People text me, Nate, you're not supposed to talk about that. It's voodoo to talk about wounding an animal. You can't do it. We're all hunters, and we've never wounded an animal. I mean, it happens. Yeah. But with these bows, let's say you're the guy that doesn't have time to shoot once a week, 10 times a week, whatever. You can pick up these bows and shoot extremely accurately, and you might not have held it for 6 months.
That's right.
So when you get into the woods with this, let's say, hey, I'm not interested in shooting a gun, or I'm hunting an area that doesn't allow guns, which is getting more and more popular, especially as the deer populations in almost every major city in the country. I mean, I don't care if you're in California, New York, or in between. Our deer populations in the inner cities is exploding, and a lot of our wildlife agencies and management areas are allowing hunting now far closer into the city than they ever have. And there's restrictions like, hey, no guns.
I never knew. So for us in Canada, the idea of hunting within city limits just doesn't happen. I never knew, in the U.S., there's all kinds of places where you can hunt within city limits in certain times.
Exactly.
And what about? I mean, you're not going to use guns, obviously, in that point. So if you don't have the time to go out and practice with any type of vertical or compound bow, the crossbow fits that perfectly. You spend a little bit of time working with it, you're good to go, which works great.
I mean, it's just there's so many different reels. And again, I mean, I know a lot of guys are just like, hey, I'm a new hunter. I shot my first 5 animals, 10 animals, 1 animal with a gun. Yeah. I'm ready to graduate to a new style.
A new challenge.
But they're like, I'm not quite ready for a bow. Yep. I know I don't have that lifestyle. I don't have that. And the crossbow is, again, that perfect example. And you have to look at your states. And again, I'd say every year we're going to gain probably 20% new marketing areas or market shares to where you can use a crossbow. Whether it's you're going to allow to use it during an archery season or allowed to use it in a special zone, whatever the case may be, it's becoming popular. And again, a lot of states are allowing this during the archery season. Some are using it as a situation of, hey, I'm physically impaired, I can't go out, so they'll graduate you to a tag that you can use your crossbow on. So, I mean, it's really unlimited. And to be totally honest with you, I mean, I have mine sitting at my house, and I do as much target practice in my crossbow do anything else. It's fun.
It is.
I mean, my kids and I don't want to go out blast with my rifle. I mean, I can legally shoot at my house, but I don't want to be, that guy with my neighbors
always loud
lighting off the the guns. Yeah. But I mean, my young kids can shoot it. It's a great entertainment sport to get into the shooting sport.
And that's where for kids it's really good because you can set it up on a stand. You can set it somewhere rested. Once it's sighted in, you line up the scope. They can look through the scope. There's no recoil, so you don't have to worry about that. So exactly, so they can get into it and start shooting and learning those things even earlier than most people would think.
Absolutely. So again, the sky's the limit, and the opportunity is the limit for crossbow. So again, if you've never considered it, you've never shot one, I really strongly urge you to get to a dealer, get to somewhere where you can shoot one.
Try one.
It's going to blow your mind the opportunity that's out there. Now, you're obviously with Excalibur. There's a ton out there. I've done a lot of different things with Excalibur, from reliability to accuracy and everything in between. But I want to walk everybody through because, again, I've shot multiple brands. Yeah. And I want to know what's developed behind the scenes. Obviously, when you show me one, it's ready to go. I'm shooting it. It's good. What have you done in the past? What makes Excalibur crossbows what they are today?
So right off the top, Excalibur is all about reliability, toughness, and from that, accuracy, and then just ease of use.
Yep.
So we base our whole platforms off of a recurve limb design. There's no cams, there's no cables. We have one crossbow string.
Yep.
They're simple, they're easy. Our front ends, one screw, you take them off. So you can pack them away, make them nice and small. Put them together, they come back to a perfect 0 every time.
So if I'm hiking in 15 miles, I can like take it apart and put it in my bag.
Exactly.
That's cool.
And then you have an Allen key or a hex key and one screw and you're back to hunting. Like, it's easy.
Now, if I have a scope on that and I break it down real quick.
Yep.
I mean, how's my accuracy?
So ours is set up with 2 posts basically that when you put it back together, they perfectly center.
So it's locked
and you're
back
locked in. I mean, we'd always suggest you could take one shot, but we've never seen them come off of where they were sighted in.
Yep.
So we've never had to worry about it.
That is cool.
And then the other thing about our recurve design is you don't need a bow press to work on them. If you're in the field, we sell a crossbow stringer. Like, you can do, if you damage your string, if you accidentally cut it with a broadhead, anything when you're out there, you can replace it in the field.
Yep.
And you can't say that about anybody else. We're the only ones that can do that.
And it literally takes seconds to cut a string. So a lot of you who are watching this know Tim Glom. He was my partner in crime chasing Ricky. And he had a deer tag, and the whole time he's talking about this guy. He's like, man, Michael, he's got these crossbows and yada yada. And he has a muzzleloader tag, and you can downgrade weapons. So in Colorado, we can downgrade weapons. So he has a muzzleloader tag. He has to wear orange, but he was shooting a crossbow during the muzzleloader season. Yep. And he's telling me all about how fast it is to change a string. So someday, guys, you're going to see this video once we pull it off this GoPro. But I literally took out the knife in the woods, like 8 miles back, and cut the string intentionally on a crossbow. Now, there's not many bows out there where I'd say you can dry fire, let alone cut the string and not be walking around for 20 minutes
and be worried about what's going to happen.
Literally, I cut his string, and 90 seconds later, he's restrung, shooting accurately.
Yep.
Which is incredible, because things happen.
Absolutely.
I mean, whether you knock the string off or you cut it or break it, especially on long pack trips, things happen. So it's neat to see that. So I mean,
flying in a case and a string rubs just during a flight, and you get out and your bow's apart.
Yep.
Can fix it on the spot.
On the spot. I mean, with literally, a stringer. What all it takes a string? Just walk us through this just real quick.
So to change a string, you just have a stringing aid, and really quickly, it goes around the 2 limb tips. Yep. You cock the bow with it, takes the pressure off the limbs. You take your string off,
put the new little loops.
Yeah. Take your new string, put it on, and then just let the bow down. Because all of our bows you can also decock with our rope cocking aid. So you don't have to fire it at the end of the day.
Yep.
You cock it. If you need to decock it, you just use the same rope cocking aid and let it down. Same process for doing the stringing aid.
Absolutely. Now, guys, just so you know, for somebody that's brand new, let's say you're watching this from the Nate Z page, you're like, man, I've never even touched a crossbow. I know nothing about them. So many of the crossbows on the market, once it's cocked, you're shooting it. So, I mean, literally, I've seen hunters, a lot of my buddies in the Midwest that can use it, like in Illinois. They literally hike in on first day a block target. They're de-scenting their target that holds so much smell, and they have a target set up next to their tree stand, and every night they're shooting, broadheads and this and that into these targets to decock. And that's where your bow, with literally a cocking aid, a rope, you can let the bow down. So now,
and it's something that comes with them, right?
Yeah.
So it's not something you're buying extra. You're going to use it every time you cock the bow. So decocking it is right there too.
Absolutely. So if you have that young youth hunter, or your wife or your dad, whatever, anybody, you're no longer coming out of the stand with this loaded weapon. You're not throwing it in the truck or shooting it later. Shooting in low light. That's the biggest problem. Is every time you want to unload it, it's dark.
Yeah, or spending money on biodegradable arrows, or spending money on arrows that get wrecked every time you do it, right?
So it's cool for that factor as well. I mean, it's really neat. Now, I get an Excalibur. Let's talk, again, we're talking traditional type limbs. What's the performance rating? I mean, how's our accuracy with this? How fast do they fly? Walk us through those designs.
So most compound bows are going to get a little bit more speed.
Okay.
It's just the nature of having those cams and the energy they produce. Recurve bows are going to, we have up to 400 feet per second, so our Bulldog 400.
Screaming.
It's more than you ever need. I mean, we still have people shooting our older models, our Phoenix or our Exosets. They're doing 300 or 375 feet per second, still hunting with them, still get their deer every year. So you don't need it, but when you do want it, we have the 400, we have a 380, and all the way down. Our lowest speed's 305 in our entry-level GRZ model. Most of our flagship bows are in around the 355, 360 area, which will do anything you ever need.
Definitely.
You just don't need anything more than
No, absolutely. I mean, especially on the shot distance you can take with that type bow. Now, when you get these bows, from the factory, a lot of time people are talking iron sights, optics. What's available from you guys in an optic package?
For us now, all of our bows come as packages. They come with a scope.
So everyone comes in a package, ready to go.
Yep. Yeah, we don't sell as a bow only. So they all come with a scope. They all come with arrows. They all come with field points.
That's fantastic.
They're ready to go. All you need is broadheads, basically, and you're good to go.
That's a question for you on that. Do your scopes come with a BDC type reticle?
Yeah, so all of our scopes have a BDC reticle that we've actually, our scopes are all tuned to us. We've custom made the reticle. They're designed right down to do, depending on the model, but down to 60 yards. So sighted in at 20, we have a speed ring that you simply turn to match up, and you get right from 20 to 60 yards.
Perfect. And it is flat out accurate. Couldn't believe it.
Another quick question here. What kind of maintenance do you do on your crossbow?
Ours is pretty easy, actually. You're going to get the best things we can recommend is wax on the string, keeps it in good shape. We suggest a little bit of rail oil on the mainframe, just so there's less friction. There's something for it to glide on. And oil in certain spots, and then you oil fasteners, tighten them, and that's it. We have very little you have to do.
Excellent. You've got several models. What would be a great starter model to get into?
Depends on what you want to do.
Walk us through the models. I mean, what's the most popular, and then walk us through kind of what the lineup is.
So we have two models that we sell as an entry level. So our GRZ2 and our Grizzly. They're 305 feet per second. They're not our old, but our semi-older limb design, which are matrix limb, a little bit wider, a little bit easier to cock, they're just a nice overall inexpensive bow to get into. Then you go up into the line, so we have our Bulldogs. Now they're the ones that are a little bit more power, so 400 feet per second, 380 feet per second. A little bit bigger, used for big game, those who want that extra speed.
Yep.
And then for those who are really looking for, lighter, smaller, compact, we have our Micro series. So
Perfect.
Micro 315, our Micro 335, Micro 335, and our Micro Suppressor.
Perfect.
These are all bows that are our micro limbs, really nice and narrow. They're compact, they're lightweight, meant to be carried easily. They're definitely where everybody are heading.
Yep.
But you're going to be into, 700 to 1,000 plus on those.
Okay.
Whereas our GRZ and our Grizzlies are in the 400 to 500 area, and we do have options anywhere in between.
Definitely. I'm shooting the Micro Suppressor right now. Literally have it at my house. That's what I'm shooting on a daily basis, and it is amazing. I mean,
that's definitely one of our most compact. It's got our bullpup stock, our bullpup ready rest stock. Shortens everything up by 2.5 inches by bringing the mainframe back. It's still 355 feet per second, so it does everything you need. But it also has our sound deadening system, so it takes a lot of sound, vibration, everything else out of that.
Can't even hear it go off. I mean, it is silent, and it hits hard. I mean, it's amazing where it buries those arrows. I mean, it flat out hits hard.
All right, I just want to clarify something. Somebody made a comment on Instagram that Colorado does not allow bow or crossbow hunting during the muzzleloader season, and just want to clarify that it's actually during the archery season. So absolutely it is.
Yeah, definitely. You just in Colorado, you got to downgrade weapons is basically what you're looking at in that tag there. And we always promote, check with your wildlife agency and or agent and manager of that unit to make sure it's in all those legal ramifications there. But as long as you're wearing the orange, again, you can downgrade. You're not using it during the archery season. Muzzleloader falls in that archery season, a lot of our mountain zones, and you can downgrade weapons from a muzzleloader to that crossbow. So cool. Concepts there. So with that, we walked through some models right there. Talked about just general popular votes now. Now, what just came out as far as models here, real quick?
So in November we launched 4 new bows, 2 different series. So we added to our Bulldog series. We added a Bulldog 330. This is replacing our older Matrix series bows. Put it on our bullpup stock again, so shortened up by 3.5 inches. Okay. Added our sound deadening system to it. So nice, really easy to cock, easy to shoot, tough as nails. Like you can literally throw that bow around and never have to worry about it.
I've literally thrown it out of my Ranger while driving around because Tim told me I could, and no issues.
Yeah. Just an all-around workhorse of a bow. That was what it was designed for. And then we also introduced new, what we call the 308 Short series.
Okay.
So there's the 308 Short, the 308 Short Serenity, so it's in the Moonshine Serenity camo, and a dealer-only bow that's in Cryptic Banshee with sound deadening system on it again. Dealer-only bow, matches up to our dealer-only Micro 335 Raid. A nice, really short, compact, lightweight bows. They're a shorter length of pull, so great if you're in blinds and tree stands, but also for, you know, shorter stature people, kids, women, anybody that finds a regular stock a little bit long for them. These fit really well. So that's
Which is huge. I mean, just like shooting a gun, a rifle, a pistol. I mean, comfort, you shoot better, you have more confidence in it. It's obviously
fit is everything. If it's too long, it's going to be front heavy. You're not going to handle it well. There's any number of things. So
if you don't enjoy shooting it, you're not going to shoot it.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that's awesome.
And they're 308 feet per second, so they're easy to cock again. You know, they're shorter length to cock. Yeah. They're awesome. Really, really sweet little bows. So
there literally is a model built for everyone. Now, I know that I was told not to bring this up, but let's face it, I'm allowed to. It's my show. You're a guest on it, even though it's brought to you by your company. We're on your Facebook page, but I can push it because we're live. That's the great thing. Yeah. You can't cut this out in post-editing. This is live. Like, I said it, and you just heard it because it's live. So, I was in studio all day today.
You were?
Shooting some videos of some cool stuff.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I don't like keeping secrets. I don't want to be the liar to everybody. When do I get to spill the beans on the stuff that I saw? The one thing, the 5 things, whatever.
You're going to have to hold it for a little bit. Right. Something to watch out for, you know, coming new year, but we're pretty excited about what's to come.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to get. That's all I get. Yeah, I don't get to say nothing else.
No.
All right, guys, you got to make sure you watch out for Excalibur and the release of something coming up in the new year.
I like that, yeah.
It's awesome. I tried to like sneak it out the back door in one of these test bows, but it's like
we have them tied down pretty heavily.
He doesn't trust me in this live feed, so it's cool. I'm really excited for the public to see this, and I cannot wait till I have one in my hands and I get to shoot it on a regular basis. So we're excited about that. You know, I want to talk real quick here before we wrap it up, as we get a few more questions, but I think, honestly, as I've learned more, I actually shot a crossbow for the first time just, 18 months ago. And I actually have some personal goals for me personally that I want to do with the crossbow. And this is, again, everybody knows me personally as I'm a hunter. You know, I would love to tell you that I am 100% a bow hunter, but I'm not. I probably do 70 to 80% of my hunts with archery equipment, but I love picking up a gun. Yeah. You know, I love going on a rifle hunt. I love it. I mean, I'm not a classification of this versus that. I'm a hunter. I love it all. And it's one of those things that I honestly feel makes me a better hunter because I swap around the weaponry so much. You know, I mean, I love picking up a muzzleloader. I love picking up a crossbow, a bow, a long gun, whatever. So I have some personal goals, and I'll tell you that I've shot enough turkeys to where I don't think I can shoot one with a gun again.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. You know, I actually love eating wild turkeys, so I don't want to pick BBs out.
Yep.
And, so many times I want to do cool stuff with them, and I just don't want to have them come in and blow them apart. But I also, how many of you are sitting here, right? I can't sit still. I hate sitting in a blind with a bow for turkeys.
Yeah.
I want to walk around. I want to sneak up on them. When they get 100 yards away, I want to sit down, and I want to call them in, and I want to shoot them. I get busted so often trying to draw my bow back that it makes it hard. I mean, I still get it done, but I've ruined some amazing opportunities on some big birds by drawing my bow. Yeah. And this coming spring, this is going to be my tool because now I'm not using the gun. I'm still using, the arrow to harvest these turkeys. But now I can have the best of all worlds. So now I can literally cock the bow, have an arrow ready up. I can move aggressively towards them, and I can sit down and I eliminate my movement. Yep. So again, number one, like a big thing that we talk about, guys, is like as a mountain hunter, I get a lot of times where I'll have a big group of hens or a mountain of populated area of turkeys, and I might have 3-4 gobblers working these hens, and the second the gun goes off, it's gone.
They're gone.
We're not a river bottom in Kansas that's got 10,000 turkeys in it. We work hard for our mountain birds, and one gun goes off and it's over. Literally switching over to a crossbow, I'm now going to be able to take, my wife, my family, and friends, and we can probably get all those type birds now to where we're not blowing off the mountain. So
that's right.
there's a lot of opportunities there, and I tell you, turkeys is my #1 goal to bring in that crossbow style hunting. It's going to be neat to see that crossover.
And then we'll move into everything else from there, right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. The other thing I was saying, that same concept, guys. In the coming weeks, we are switching over to predator hunting. Obviously, we're going to talk about this deer hunt I'm going on, but I love predator hunting. I've done a lot of mountain lion hunting in my life. I do a lot with hounds and everything else. And I think predators for #1 for the challenge, #2 for the opportunity to extend your hunting season, and #3 just the management of predators. I think that needs to be in control. I love doing a lot of predator hunting, and I want to talk about the opportunity in the coming weeks of bobcats and coyotes. And that's another thing to where I don't want to be in a blind, and there is nothing more scared in the world than a coyote coming into a call.
Yep.
I mean, they are scared of their own toenail.
Yep.
It's just, everybody in the world wants to kill them, so I mean, I don't blame them for being scared, but I can't tell you how many times I've had to be in full draw for 5 minutes waiting for a dog to come in, and you're trying to work calls, and it just gets awkward as to where, again, same thing. I don't want to blast them with double out buck as they're coming in. So I think this is that opportunity to, one, bring a new challenge where I'm not shooting them at 1,000 yards with a long gun.
Yeah, you're still at 40
I'm
yards,
still
30
working
yards.
close, but now I have the opportunity to, one, have a scope to make a better shot, and two, have that gun ready and not having to draw back an arrow. So I think it's going to offer a whole new opportunity of predator hunting that I've never done before. That I think the challenge-wise is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what's probably the most popular hunt that people are going on with the crossbow? Is it everything? Is it a whitetail? What's the #1 hunt that you see this in? That's kind of
whitetail's definitely the most popular. Okay. Like whether it be Canada or the U.S., whitetail is the main thing that people are hunting with crossbows. Right. Now, get into Canada, there's a lot of people that go north and hunt moose with them. I believe the U.S. states that have elk and stuff, you can't hunt with crossbows, so that's limiting. But whitetail is the dominant. And bear. I mean, bear in Canada is very popular too.
I believe that. And talk about a bear hitting machine, just because these crossbows hit with so much force and power. Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. You can blow through shoulders. You can have a lot of shot placements that you might not have had before because you have more power than you might be used to. So, it's awesome. Now, Michael, before I let you go, where do we get more information on Excalibur? Facebook. Where can we learn more about the bows?
So social media, it's always there. Whether you go Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're all there. Best resource though is our website, ExcaliburCrossbow.com. I mean, all of our models are there. We have extra information about them. We have videos on there. Right. We have live feeds such as this on there. We have feature videos. We have instructional videos. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that you can look at there. And we also have a YouTube channel loaded too with everything. Excellent. So there's lots of avenues to find, but website will lead you to all of those things.
Perfect. And guys, that's it. Educate yourself, on the opportunity of crossbows, and especially educate yourself on the opportunity of Excalibur. Devin, say we got something else to talk about here real quick?
Yeah, so speaking of different animals and different species of take with the crossbow, are there, like a traditional bow or a compound bow, are there different bolt grains, different size bolts for different animals? Yeah,
not for different animals. So most of your arrow or arrow weights are going to be related to the bow itself.
Now walk us through this real quick. So again, uneducated. I called it a bolt earlier because I don't know.
Yeah, so really...
Bolt and arrow, a quill. I mean, this is educational.
People talk about both. Really what it is that at this point, it's a carbon arrow. It's, a 20-inch, 18-inch, 16-inch carbon arrow. Way back when it was, the medieval times when crossbows, they were actually a little short, all-metal bolt. Okay. So that's where that came from. Really now, they're an arrow. I mean, everything that you would shoot in a vertical bow is the same as a crossbow now. It comes down to the bow. So Excalibur crossbows can use a lighter, the nature of our recurve design, we can use a lighter arrow. We don't have to worry about, the spines being too light and everything. So with all of our bows, we recommend that you shoot at least a 350 grain arrow. Okay. All of our bolts or arrows themselves are 250 grain to start. The exception of our older ones. For our older bows, they're 270. Okay. And then you put 100 grain broadhead, put 150, so we make 150.
The broadhead, the bow I have came with broadheads too, or it came with field tips.
Field tips.
So it literally came with everything.
Yep.
Arrows, field tips, ready to go. I just think that's important because I think it can be overwhelming, especially if you go into a shop that might not be educated on this.
Yep.
You know, you look across all the arrows, you're like, which one do I shoot? So yours do come with it.
Yeah, so to get hunting with ours, the only thing you have to buy are broadheads themselves.
Okay.
Everything else is you can shoot with what you have.
Perfect. And are we adapting our arrow weights and stuff like that, just like a vertical bow, to where, hey, I'm going to go elk hunting, I'd like a little more kinetic energy.
Generally
not.
not.
Or is it pretty much generic?
Well, you're going to sight in with whatever you're shooting,
okay.
And so we've done a lot of testing. We found 150 grain broadheads or field tips are the ultimate in accuracy, you know, okay. in arrow flight, all of those things. Lots of people shoot 100 grain because they want that little bit extra speed.
Absolutely.
Luckily with us, you know, with the lighter arrow, you can get that. A lot of other manufacturers are into like a 450, 430 grain bolt. Because of that compound design, they need heavier in order for the bow to not blow up.
Yep. Okay.
Basically, it's the same as a vertical bow. You go too light, and you can blow the bow up.
Yep.
So ours, you can keep that light. You can shoot 100 grain, or the 150, which we know shoots really well.
That's awesome. Excellent. Well, thank you very much for answering that. Again, hopefully that answers your question, whoever's asking that.
When can we expect the release of the new product?
Awesome.
You know what? It'll be New Year. ATA, which is in January, is the show when most stuff is released, and that's the time to kind of pay attention.
Excellent.
It's in my truck.
He thinks that.
Guys, it's awesome. Again, we can't talk about it, but everything about it. I can't find one thing that I didn't love about it. So. We're good, Devin?
We're good.
All right, guys. Again, we have Michael Martin here right now, specialist from Excalibur. Thank you so much for answering our questions, Michael. I appreciate it more than anything. And again, follow all the Excalibur Facebook page. Again, you're gonna see all these live feeds, education, and coming soon, you'll learn more about that individual product that we keep talking about. And the products you have out there now are incredible. I'll tell you what, with Christmas around the air, I don't want to be the guy, saying, hey, this is the ultimate Christmas gift, but. For that person who used to archery hunt, they got out of it. This is a perfect topic. For somebody getting into the sport of hunting, this is a perfect opportunity. So there's a lot of things that lead to this maybe being the perfect Christmas gift for a lot of people out there, especially the fact that it comes in a complete kit. You get the scope, you get the arrows, everything, to where literally you don't have to give the gift and say, okay, everybody gets that gift, right? We got to have the batteries, the batteries, and you're broken hearted. It's the same type of thing with crossbows. You get the crossbow, you don't have the right arrows, you got to drive around town, you got to wait, and the excitement goes down. You get it, and it's a complete package, everything's there. So it's pretty awesome for that, guys. And a huge thanks for everybody for watching on any of the feeds. Again, you're watching this on so many different platforms. We appreciate everybody watching on all those platforms. And without a doubt, huge thanks to Bowtech Archery for allowing us to take over their feed and providing this overall feed for this show. As always, we will go live every single Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Guys, over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be walking you through that mule deer hunt that I'm on, and we're going to get major into predator hunting. We're going to be talking to some of the best coyote hunters in the world. We're going to be talking mountain lions, opportunity with dogs and without dogs, bobcats, and kind of a little bit of everything else. So we're getting ready to kind of get into that phase, as right now December is the peak month for fur and hide in the western states, if not really anywhere in the country. Long before the mange and everything else sets in. So this is the perfect time to be a predator hunter in the western United States. So we'll be covering all that, guys, and just make sure you tag all your friends, share this post. Make sure you join us every week live at 7 p.m. My name is Nathan Zelinsky. We'll see you next week.